Hey, how you guys doing? Listen, we're B-17 bomb group based in Foggia, and we're looking for the pilots who were up at Clevin yesterday. We want to say thanks. A couple of those guys saved our asses.
Don't mention it.
So where are they?
Where's who?
Came up here to see the pilots.
You're looking at them. Lieutenant Lee, Lieutenant Roberts.
How are you?
We appreciate your thanks.
This whole base is colored?
Colored, yes. Lock, stock, and pilot.
Hi, Jen of Walk with History. Today we're going to do the Tuskegee Airmen at Arlington National Cemetery. There are 33 Tuskegee Airmen that are interred and buried here at Arlington National Cemetery. We're going to only do 4 sections today. We're going to go to 60. It's one of the bigger sections. We're going to go to 6. We're going to go to section 46 over here by the Tomb of the Unknown, and we're going to go to section 2. These are some of the earlier sections up by Arlington House. I'm here with Lucius Theus, and Lucius Theus became the 3rd Black Major General in the United States Air Force. He's also a Tuskegee Airman. He was the first African-American support officer and the 3rd overall to be appointed general in the U.S. Air Force. He was the first African-American to attend Harvard Business School, their 6 weeks advanced management program. So I'm honored to be here with him today. I'm honored to bring him to you today, and we're going to leave a flag here in honor of what he did to break the race barrier and what he did for the United States and his service to country. He's buried here beside his wife, and like I've said before, usually spouses are on the other side, so he's buried here with his wife Gladys. So I'm wearing the leather coat today, and because we are honoring the Tuskegee Airmen, I'm wearing the leather coat for that specific reason, because when the Tuskegee Airmen trained, they wore leather jackets, and it's because their cockpits are open cockpit. Open cockpit aircraft is very cold, and that's where these leather jackets come from. So now naval aviators, when you get your wings, you get your leather jacket, and you decide what you want to put on it. I put on my patch with my wings, and I put on a flag. You can do whatever you want. You know, remember Top Gun? He like puts all his squadron patches and things on his jacket. Some people put nothing on their jacket, 1 or 2 things. It's really up to you, but it's more ceremonial now since we really don't have open cockpits. I did wear it one time flying a T-34 over the Rocky Mountains because it was freezing, and I wore the leather jacket then. But really, we only get them now ceremonially because of the open cockpit training that naval aviators did at the very beginning of their establishment. So we're coming up to section 60. So there's a couple graves we're going to visit here in section 60. This is one of the newer sections. What I mean newer is more recent deaths, more recent burials are here. It's a very large section. Section 60 is very big. Some of all these sections are different sizes, and 60 is one of the bigger ones. So when you come out here to look for a specific grave, make sure you know where you're going and what you're looking for, because this is a very large section. I'm here in section 60 with Lieutenant Colonel Eugene Calvin Cheatham Jr., United States Air Force, World War II, Korea. Again, you see here Tuskegee Airmen, Air Medal, and olive leaf cluster. Cheatham was born in Georgia, and his father was a missionary. In 1930, he completed the requirements for Eagle Scouts, but unable to afford the uniform, he never appeared before his board of review. Later in life, September of 2004, he was awarded his Eagle Scout at a ceremony in San Diego, California. He flew 150 missions during the Korean War, and he achieved the rank of Lieutenant Colonel and retired in 1977. But I'm just honored to be here again with Lieutenant Colonel Cheatham. We're going to leave a flag here. Again, this is a family thing that we do for Walk with History. It's a family event. History is important not only to my viewers, but to the family and to my family. So my daughter will leave the flag here for Eugene Calvin Cheatham. And thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Cheatham, for what you did, breaking the race barrier and serving your country. I'm proud to be here with you today. So I'm here with Howard Baugh, Lieutenant Colonel Howard Baugh, United States Air Force, World War II, Korea, and it says Tuskegee Airmen. Oh my gosh, the leaves are falling. It is absolutely a gorgeous fall day here in Arlington. Born and raised in Petersburg, Virginia, he graduated from Virginia State College in 1941, enlisted in the U.S. Army as an aviation cadet, accepted into the newly formed Tuskegee Airmen. He flew 131 combat missions for the 332nd Fighter Group, the 99th Fighter Squadron in Sicily, the Red Tails. He was part of the Red Tail markings. So a little bit of history about that. So people are always wondering, like, who are the Red Tails? Who are the Tuskegee Airmen? So during World War II, you have different types of aircraft, and the bombers are so important at this time, right? Because they're dropping the bombs on these big locations and they don't do much in ways of defense. So when they're being picked out of the air by fighter pilots, German fighter pilots, they're really sitting targets. So fighter planes would escort them, and they would engage the fighter pilots out to shoot them down. And the Red Tails had a very great track record. A, of not leaving the bombers, and B, of shooting down the enemy. And the Red Tails statistically did better than their white counterparts. And people, I think, again, did not know initially that they were African American, but then found out that they were, and it really pushed back against their racial stereotype, because here these men were outperforming their white counterparts and doing a great job, and people want to live, people want to survive, so they're asked for, they're requested. So when you think about the Tuskegee Airmen, it's more than just breaking the racial barrier. They actually served their country with honor, and they did something even better than their white counterparts. I'm honored to visit Lieutenant Colonel Baugh today. He's also buried here beside his wife. Not at Arlington now. Now I'm off the highway, Highway 95 in South Carolina, and I'm in Walterboro, South Carolina. And behind me is the Walterboro Army Airfield. The final months of combat training for the Tuskegee Airmen. Every Tuskegee Airman went through here for their final months of training before shipping off overseas, and it's significant. There is a memorial here to the Tuskegee Airmen, and we wanted to stop and pay our respects. So here we are, just right off the 95 in Walterboro, South Carolina. This gives you a little bit of information of the Tuskegee Airmen and life on this base. And like I said, everybody had to come through here for the last of their combat training. You're flying the actual aircraft that you're going to be flying in the military. So you're training from sun up, sundown, just how to fly these aircrafts and just get very, very familiar with them. And the largest sub-base in the 3rd Air Force served as the final training base for pilots prior to overseas duty. Every Tuskegee Airman prior to overseas duty, and housed the military population as many as 6,000 and German POWs. So cool to be here. This is really part of the Tuskegee Airmen story, and it's an honor to be here. I'm here in Section 60 with Captain Lawrence Dixon, Tuskegee Airman of World War II. What's unique about Dixon is he was shot down and killed December 23rd, 1944, but he's here in Section 60. He's actually pretty close to Colin Powell. And it's because his remains were not found in 2018. He wasn't buried here until 2019. He flew 68 missions with the Tuskegee Airmen, and unfortunately, he was shot down over Austria, December 23rd, 1944. The remains, the archaeological crew was sent to the site in 2017. They discovered bone fragments. They were able to match it to his daughter. They also found a ring. He was laid to rest here March 22nd, 2019, and 4 Air Force jets flew overhead as his daughter received the flag. As you see here, he has an air medal, and he has 4 oak leaf clusters. Tuskegee Airmen. What an honor. With Lee Andrew Archer Jr., Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force. He's one of the first African-American military aviators in the United States Army Air Corps. This is before the Air Force was adapted. He later flew in the Air Force, and that's where he earned the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. So again, the Army Air Corps is the predecessor to the United States Air Force. What is unique about Lieutenant Colonel Archer? He flew 169 combat missions. He's one of only 4 Tuskegee Airmen to have earned 3 aerial victories in a single day, and Archer got 3 in a single day. Then he has 4, and then the dispute about the 5th is he claims he shot down a 5th aircraft with someone else, so they got like half credit for it. But to shoot down 5 enemy aircraft makes you an ace. So Archer is considered one of the first African-American ace pilots in the military. And that's what's so unique and an honor to be here with him today. He's buried here beside his wife. He said, "I flew 169 combat missions when most pilots were flying 50. I came back to the US and down a gangplank." That's where you walk off a ship, a gangplank off a ship. "And there was a sign at the bottom, colored troops to the right, white troops to the left." So here he is shooting down enemy aircraft, flying 169 missions. He's a recipient of the Distinguished Flying Cross, and then coming back to America, he realized nothing had really changed. Just goes to show you the perseverance and the expertise, first in his class. I am honored to be here and visit him today. I have a flag, and I'm going to leave it here today. The first ace African-American pilot in the United States military. What an honor. Thank you. So Section 46, pretty much right across from the Tomb of the Unknown, is the monument to the Tuskegee Airmen here at Arlington National Cemetery. The Tuskegee Airmen of World War II, they accepted the challenge, 200 strategic bomber escort missions over Europe with the 15th Air Force without the loss of a single bomber to enemy aircraft, 1944 to 1945, a record unsurpassed. Dedicated in their memory, it looks like 10 November 1995. This name, Tuskegee Airmen, also applied to navigators, bombardiers, mechanics, instructors, crew chiefs, nurses, cooks, and other support personnel. So when you hear Tuskegee Airmen, it really was an all-encompassing group. They were educated at the Tuskegee Institute, located in Tuskegee, Alabama. Made famous, Booker T. Washington started the Tuskegee University there, that is in Tuskegee, Alabama. There were 922 pilots. And another thing, the Tuskegee Airmen did not get the most state-of-the-art aircraft to train in. A lot of their instructors were racial segregationists, which means they really didn't support them. And it's just, it's a great honor to be here with them today. And again, 33 of them are buried here in Arlington National Cemetery. We will see a few and talk about their careers, but this is the memorial to them close to the Tomb of the Unknown, if you would like to see it, here at Arlington National Cemetery. I'm here with General Benjamin Davis Jr. His father, Benjamin Davis Sr., is a little bit farther down from here. His father, Benjamin Oliver Davis Sr., was the first African-American to rise to the rank of Brigadier General. He really his father really pushed the racial line, changed the way people perceived African-Americans in the military. He was appointed appointed as the first black general in 1940, his father. But I'm here with Benjamin Davis Jr. He's the first African-American brigadier general in the United States Air Force. On December 9th, which is my birthday, 1998, he was advanced to 4-star general by President Bill Clinton, and he was assigned to the first training class at Tuskegee Army Airfield. On March 6, 1942, Davis graduated from aviation cadet training. Him and his classmates became the first air combat fighter pilots in the United States military. It is a great honor to be here with General Benjamin O. Davis Jr. During World War II, he was commander of the 99th Fighter Squadron and the 332nd Fighter Group, which escorted bombers over Europe. So he was commander of the Tuskegee Airmen. I'm going to leave a flag here for General Davis Jr., just for what he did, breaking that color barrier, and then to lead African American men during World War II. It's just awesome to be here and to pay my respects to him.
Sir, there have been several things that have happened to you throughout your career in the Air Force. Is there any one particular thing that stands out in your mind as the most significant, or the one that had the most meaning for you?
We had an all-Negro fighter group that I commanded, and later a medium bombardment group. The success that these two units met, particularly the fighter group in combat in North Africa, Sicily, and Italy, meant that the people who were in it would have a firm place in the United States Air Force. I think without question this has to be so very, very important that it's the most important thing that happened to me during my career.
I'm here at Arlington National Cemetery with General Daniel Chappie James Jr., United States Air Force. And General James is the first African American to rise to the rank of 4-star general in the American Armed Forces. The first person to actually do it. Flew combat missions in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. So one of the things I really admire about General James Jr. is some of the quotes that he gave, because he was alive and a part of Dr. Martin Luther King and civil rights, and he had a lot of things. People would ask him how he felt about things, because again, he's the first 4-star general, African-American general in the military, in the armed forces. And this quote he gave: "This is my country and I believe in her, and I will serve her and I'll contribute to her welfare whenever and however I can. And if she has any ills, I'll stand by her until in God's given time. Through her wisdom and through her consideration for the welfare of the entire nation, she will put them right." So I just really admire that about him. Somebody who, you know, is going through tons of adversity, and even when you have Dr. Martin Luther King's assassinated and people are turning to you, what do you think about this? How do you feel about this? He feels, this is my country. I have a right to defend her. I have a right to stand up for her. I am no second-class citizen, and I'm gonna be here to work through all of the problems of America. He's a Tuskegee Airman, and I'm proud to be here in Arlington with him today. I'm gonna leave a flag in honor of him, because it's just an honor for me to be able to be here with Daniel Chappie James Jr. I'm here with Major Elward Woody Thomas Driver, Tuskegee Airman, Major in the United States Air Force, and he flew 123 missions and given credit for 1 confirmed kill. In 1978, President Jimmy Carter nominated Driver to be a member of the National Transportation Safety Board. So it's awesome to be here with him today. World War II and Korea, and it says Tuskegee Airmen. So I have a flag here for Major Driver, and I'm going to leave it here in honor of the Tuskegee Airmen. Even though Colin Powell isn't a Tuskegee Airman, I couldn't not come visit the first African-American Secretary of State. So here I am with Colin Powell, Section 60 at Arlington National Cemetery, United States Army officer. He served as the 65th Secretary of State from 2001 to 2005 and first African-American Secretary of State. He was the 15th United States Security Advisor from 1987 to 1989 and the 12th Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff from 1989 to 1993. But he is here in Arlington National Cemetery. You see General Colin Luther Powell, Vietnam, Persian Gulf. He was born in the Bronx in New York City, and what I have always appreciated about Colin Powell is his parents were immigrants from Jamaica, and they really made a life for themselves. And he also took that opportunity that the military gave him to just forge an amazing career. And I was always proud of Colin Powell. He did ROTC to become an officer in the United States military, just like myself, but he rose to the rank of 4-star general. So I just am really honored to be here. There's a very iconic photograph that Annie Leibovitz took with President Bush and Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice and who's the other? Rumsfeld. And I just always appreciated that photograph as well, this leadership and what is going on with these people all talking to each other and the leadership of America. So it is such an honor to be here with him today. Thank you, General Powell, for your service to our country. I am grateful to be here, and thank you for allowing me to spend some time with you today. My final thoughts as we leave Arlington today after honoring the Tuskegee Airmen. Just what an amazing feat, what they did to overcome, how they did it together. I really love that they were all in it together and they really leaned on each other and they supported each other and they believed in each other. I think that is a testimony to so much overcoming adversity is we do it as a group. And you know, there were people who definitely were against them, but there were definitely people who were for them. And I just really appreciate Eleanor Roosevelt flying with them and, you know, putting her power as First Lady to reinforce them. So if you ever get a chance to get out here to Arlington National Cemetery, I hope you seek out a couple of them or anyone else you want to honor. But thank you for joining me today. On to our next Walk with History.